what does that mean to you?
Well, I was wondering how clearly the old man could have heard the boy's voice through the ceiling.
Didn't hear it through the ceiling. The window was open. So was the one upstairs. It was a hot night, remember?
It was another apartment. It's not that easy to identify a voice, particularly a shouting voice.
Identified it in court.
That's right. And don't forget the lady across the street. She looked right in the open window and saw the boy stab his father. Now, I mean, isn't that enough for you?
No, it isn't.
Boy, how do you like this guy, huh? It's like talking into a dead phone.
She said she saw the killing through the windows of a moving elevated train. There were 6 cars on the train. She saw the killing through the last 2 cars. She remembered the most insignificant details. I don't see how you can argue with that.
Has anybody here any idea how long it would take an elf? This isn't a game.
Did you see him?
Hey.
Well, the nerve.
All right, listen,
The
hey.
absolute nerve.
All right, forget it. It's not important.
This
You know what
isn't
I
a
mean?
game.
No,
It doesn't
calm down.
matter.
Who does he think he is?
All right, I'm
Come on,
telling you,
look,
don't forget it now. It's not
Has
a-
anybody any idea how long it takes an elevated train going at medium speed to pass a given point?
What has that to do with anything?
How long? Take a guess.
I wouldn't have the slightest idea.
What do you think?
I don't know, maybe 10, 12 seconds?
I think that's a pretty good guess. Anyone else?
That sounds right to me.
Come on, what's the guessing game for?
What do you say?
10 seconds is about right.
All right, say 10 seconds. What are you getting at?
This. It takes a 6-car L train 10 seconds to pass a given point. Now, let's say the given point is the open window of the room where the killing took place. You can reach out of that window and almost touch the L tracks, right? Now, let me ask you this. Has anyone here ever lived near the L tracks?
Well, I just finished painting an apartment that overlooked an L line. I was there for 3 days.
What was it like?
What do you mean?
Noisy?
Oh, brother. It don't matter, though. We're all punchy.
I lived in a second-floor apartment near the L line once. When the window is open and the train goes by, the noise is almost unbearable. You can hardly hear yourself think.
All right, you can't hear yourself think. Well, you get to the point.
And I will. Now, just a minute. Let's take 2 pieces of testimony and try to put them together. First, the old man in the apartment downstairs. He says he heard the boy say, "I'm going to kill you," and a split second later heard a body hit the floor. 1 second later, right?
That's right.
Second, the woman across the street swore positively she looked out of the window and saw the killing through the last 2 cars of a passing elevated train, right? The last 2 cars.
Well, what are you giving us here?
Just a minute. We've agreed that it takes 10 seconds for a train to pass a given point. Since the woman saw the killing through the last 2 cars, we can assume that the body hit the floor just as the train went by. Therefore, the train had been roaring by the old man's window a full 10 seconds before the body hit the floor. The old man, according to his own testimony, "I'm going to kill you," body hitting the floor a split second later, would have had to hear the boy make this statement with the L roaring past his nose. It's not possible he could have heard it.
That's idiotic. Of course he heard
Do you
it.
think he could have heard it?
He said he yelled at the top of his voice. That's good enough for me.
Even if he heard something, he still couldn't have identified the voice with the L roaring by?
You're talking about a matter of seconds. Nobody can be that accurate.
Well, I think testimony that could put a boy into the electric chair should be that accurate.
Something I don't think he could have heard it. Maybe he didn't hear it. I mean, with all that L noise.
Oh, what are you people talking
Well, it
about?
stands to reason he couldn't have heard.
Why should he lie? What's he got to gain?
Attention, maybe.
You keep coming in with these bright sayings. Why don't you send them into a paper? They pay $3 apiece.
What are you talking to him like that for? Guy talks like that to an old man really ought to get stepped on, you know? You ought to have more respect, mister. If you say stuff like that to him again, I'm gonna lay you out. Now, you go ahead. You say anything you like. Why do you think the old man might lie?
Yeah, it was just that I looked at him for a very long time. Seemed if his jacket was split, under the shoulder. Oh, did you notice that? I mean, to come to court like that. He was a very old man in a torn jacket. And he walked very slowly to the stand. He was dragging his left leg and trying to hide it because he was ashamed. I think I know this man better than anyone here. This is a quiet, frightened, insignificant old man who has been nothing all his life. who has never had recognition or his name in the newspapers. Nobody knows him. Nobody quotes him. Nobody seeks his advice after 75 years. Gentlemen, that's a very sad thing to mean nothing. A man like this needs to be quoted, to be listened to be quoted just once. Very important to him. It would be so hard for him to recede into the background.
Oh, wait a minute.
When there
What
was
are
a
you trying
chance-
to do? Tell us he'd lie just so he could be important once?
No. He wouldn't really lie, but perhaps he made himself believe he heard those words and recognized the boy's face.
Well, that's the most fantastic story I've ever heard. How can you make up a thing like that? What do you know about it?
Oh, does anybody want a cough drop?
No, thanks. I'll take one.
You can say what you like. I still don't see how anybody can think he's not guilty.
There's something else I'd like to talk about for a minute. Thanks. I think we proved that the old man couldn't have heard the boy say, "I'm gonna kill you." But supposing he did.
Prove it at all. What are you talking
Wait a minute.
about?
Supposing he really did hear it. This phrase, how many times have all of us used it? Probably thousands. I could kill you for that, darling. Junior, you do that once more and I'm gonna kill you. Get in there, Rocky, and kill him. Say it every day. That doesn't mean we're really gonna kill him.
Wait a minute. What are you trying to give us here? The phrase was, "I'm going to kill you." The kid yelled it at the top of his lungs. Don't tell me you didn't mean it. Anybody says a thing like that the way he said it, they mean it.
Well, gee, now, I don't know. I remember I was arguing with the guy I worked next to at the bank a couple weeks ago. He called me an idiot, so I yelled at him.
Now, listen, this guy's trying to make you believe things that aren't so. The kid said he was going to kill him, and he did kill him.
Let me ask you this. Do you really think the boy'd shout out a thing like that so the whole neighborhood could hear him? I don't think so. He's much too bright for that.
Bright? He's a common, ignorant slob. He don't even speak good English.
He doesn't even speak good English.
Mr. Foreman, I'd like to change my vote to not guilty.
You what?
You heard me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
The vote is 9-3 favor of guilty.
Well, if this isn't the living end, huh? What are you basing it on? Stories this guy made up? You ought to write for one of those kooky detective magazines. You'd make a fortune. For crying out loud, the kid's own lawyer knew he didn't stand a chance. Right from the beginning, his own lawyer knew it. You could see it. Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, this guy here is really something. Look, the kid had a lawyer, didn't he? He presented his case, not you. How come you got so much to say?
Look, lawyers aren't infallible, you know.
Baltimore, please, huh?
He was
Huh?
court appointed.
Now, what's that supposed to
Well,
mean?
it could mean a lot of things. It could mean he didn't want the case or he resented being appointed. It's the kind of case that brings him nothing. No money, no glory, not even much chance of winning. That's not a very promising situation for a young lawyer. He'd really have to believe in his client to put up any kind of a good case, and as you pointed out a minute ago, obviously he didn't.
Oh, of course he didn't. Huh. Well, who the heck could? Except maybe some guy's mother is somebody. Oh, look, will you look at the time? Huh? Come on, for crying out
Pardon me. I have made some notes here, and I would like, please, to say something. I have been listening very carefully, and it seems to me that this man has some very good points to make. From what was presented at the trial, the boy looks guilty on the surface, but maybe if we go deeper...
Come on, will you?
There is a question I would like to ask. Let us assume that the boy really did commit the murder. Now, this happened at 10 minutes after 12. Now, how was he caught by the police? He came back home at 3 o'clock or so, and he was captured by 2 detectives in the hallway of his house. Now, my question is, if he really had killed his father, why would he come back home 3 hours later? Wouldn't he be afraid of being caught?
Came home to get his knife. It's not nice to go around leaving knives sticking in people's chests.
Yeah, especially relatives.
Yeah.
I don't see anything funny about it. The boy knew the knife could be identified as the one he had just bought. He had to get it before the police did.
But if he knew the knife could be identified, why did he leave it there in the first place?
Well, I think we can assume the boy ran out in a state of panic after having just killed his father. When he finally calmed down, he realized he had left his knife there.
Ah, this then depends on your definition of panic. He would have had to be calm enough to see to it that there were no fingerprints left on the knife. Now, where did this panic start and where did it end?